say, and he said it many times in the 50s, 60s, that the machine became an art form in the 20s with the constructivists and Joyce, Pound, and the Vorticists and Lewis. They turned the hardware machine into an art form because there was a new environment, the software environment, which was kind of invisible, but was making people see the older environment, which was the machine. And so to say the machine is better than the hand is a position stated in the 20s by different artistic schools, okay? And then there's the reaction to that. You know, people, I don't believe that, and they go back to pre-Raphaelitism or medievalism or surrealism. They react to it. But here's the interesting thing, is that Kraftwerk is saying this, and Lester Bangs is thinking about and arguing with it. They're both what I call extensions of the Android beam, which is a replay of everything up to 1945. So they don't even know, Bangs and Kraftwerk, that they're arguing McLuhan, and they don't know that that argument is an old argument. And resolved as well as a human could do with Finnegan's Wake, because look, that's in 1965-66 when he gets kicked out of Yale. That's when McLuhan is really strong. He's new, and people are listening to him. By 68, 69, which is, according to McLuhan, 600 years later, because we live 200 years every 12 months in the 60s. So 600 years later, by 68, 69, you're going to be dissing McLuhan. He's old hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is an effect of the electric environment that one should be aware of, that things will age right in front of your eyes because the tactile environment turns it over so quickly. You should try to figure out how you're being seduced by that. Remember, Andy Warhol says, I want to be a machine. He says that in the middle 60s.
Right.
Okay, but to say, McLuhan said, I want to be global programmer of the computer thermostat. Way beyond just being a machine. I'm going to include fascism, communism, capitalism, and free enterprise, and anarchism all within my program. I'm not just going to be a machine. I'm going to be able to mold the machine, orchestrate it with the software machine. There is no content ultimately in Finnegan's Wake. There's no possibility of an idea to have any staying power in the tactile environment. And for literate people to not be able to maintain a point of view, that is hell. And so when you're frustrated by that electronic Niagara Falls of information, you can't hold on any point of view. You need a release. So you retrieve the ear, and you retrieve a loud ear. And rock and roll was loud in the 50s. It got louder in the 60s, louder in the 70s, multi-leveled in the 80s with MTV. This stimulus, this balancing of the void that electric environment creates in the literate mind, the left hemisphere, rock and roll serves an aesthetic, medicinal purpose there. And so you see Meltzer racing along, just celebrating the medicine he's taking, all the bands of the mid-60s. And I love he's really good at citing the good stuff. And I want to say, whoever wrote the article, it might have been O'Brien. Right. He runs through the autobiography of his ears, not of him, of his ears, of his virtual ears.
Yeah, I like that. Jeffrey O'Brien, yeah.
Yeah, he ends with Hello Stranger, Barbara Lewis. Bingo! That's the greatest, one of the greatest songs in all history. I mean, yeah, and I think it's Hello Stranger he names. He names something by her, but just saying Barbara Lewis is perfect. Now, I'm talking about the ecstasy. McLuhan in the 60s talked about we're in the era of millennial or millenary, either word, millennial ecstatics. This is, you see, Meltzer's, he tries to throw in the philosophical categories and immediately cancels them, knowing it's irrelevant. He's trying to be right hemisphere. He's celebrating the ecstasy that this stuff puts him into, but he doesn't recognize that it's going to drive him headlong crash into an identity crisis, hit the wall, when somehow he wakes up to that process. And that happened, I guess, 68, 69. The music changed its timbre, its pitch, and he didn't like it. So he stopped. All right?
Yep.
And you sort of, to stay within the game, you got to start, okay, I got to change my ears. I got to start getting used to this stuff if I want to stay in it. Maybe I will get used to it. The thing is that it is a definite anesthetic medicine, rock and roll. You know, it's Viagra, it's Prozac, it's all that stuff. And then you could explain when we get into the digital era how the digital environment shrinks all the old analog media like rock music and all that. So people don't want music anymore, they just want a drug. They just want Prozac. Why be mediated? Just put me on a drug.